Hey, what it do, what it is, what it was. This is your boy Pocho, one of the Pocho Live podcasts. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and support a real one in the field. You feel me? Today, what are we speaking on? What if we had one big California car? What if California united? Today, we're going to be speaking on the possibilities. You feel me? The opportunities and the logical sense of working together because as Raza, we are stronger together, bro. As California, we are stronger together, bruh. And once we start to understand that it's not about our egos, not about, you know, California or North, South, this, that, bad gang. It's not about none of that. It's about good music, about good money, about good memories, about good, beautiful women having enjoyable times, bro. And ain't nobody we've been through enough, people. We have been through enough. So, as California, bro, we've already been through enough. We're already going through enough. What have we seen already with the president, with the president to be? Maybe you've already seen what's going on in the world. The world is upside down. Why not in this moment? Let's make history. We have seen what we could do. Divided. We have seen the disses. We have seen people go up lefty gunplay. Disses bands. Bands comes back and about to hit a million. Shout out to Bands, doing something for real. Really got himself out there. But what can we do now together? So today, what I'm going to be bringing up is the people that I believe that have been involved in the back and forth of California drama and unity, and how we can use these same people to turn this situation and transform it. We don't got to back down from it. We don't got to keep dissing. We can transform this situation. When it comes to pain or drama, you can transform it or you transmit it. That means you're going to either keep the drama going to becomes something more serious and brings in people that don't even need to be involved, or we can use it as an opportunity to grow. How many times, anybody that grew up in the hood, how many times, bro, have you got in a fight with somebody and then you're closer after? Shout out to all the homies that get in fights and become closer, don't become bigger enemies. So yes, today I'm going to be talking about the real hitters from California. And real quick, I want to start with the disclaimer and then a story. The disclaimer is I will not be bringing up OGZ in the conversation or Peso. Everybody knows that Peso is my favorite rapper, hands down. But OGZ and Peso to me have already transformed, and are already on their way up. And these are the two reasons, really quick. OGZ, through his transformation of what he did with Shoreline Mafia, changing the sound of Los Angeles forever and showing that all kids, like how LA really is, a bunch of kids kicking it together, experiencing this beautiful, amazing, crazy, wild city called the City of Angels. You feel me? And they really were good at doing that, you know, with a slew of characters that came out of that movement. OGZ has elevated his game and riz above all of it, right? Going from a group that was banging and changing the sound of Los Angeles to becoming a superstar in his own right and being the only Chicano Latino invited to be with Kendrick Lamar and friends at this big Juneteenth concert. They Not Like Us, celebrating kind of the song and basically destroying Drake. But what I want to do, people, is I want to slow it down and relax for a minute, and I want to really get into this, people. Okay, I have been kicking back because I've been we spent this last year going at it. So I want to talk about a little bit of the history and why I think these people are important, and why, again, the disclaimer is Peso. OGZ, my bad. OGZ has elevated. He's already working with superstars. He's getting invited to places that nobody else, because he doesn't have the same kind of drama, doesn't get involved, is not part of a gang, right? Peso is part of a gang. Before he wasn't, now he is. I'm not gonna get into what gang that is, but shout out to you know what I mean? And so but he does not diss the ops in terms of the North. He doesn't get involved in this internet drama. He disses ops that he's really his real ops in real life. And that's honorable because he's actually talking about real things, not these far off people from 8 hours away. And so Peso, OGZ out of this conversation. Salute to them. They are winning. They understand. They got the game. They're on their way. They don't need any help. The other person that will be out of this mix is Chito Ranas. While I think he is one of the best rappers in California or the world right now, actually, and has some of the best beats I've ever heard. You know, his last diss, the devil, the devil even prays for me. I will not sit here and deny the fact that this guy can rap, but he has dissed people so hard and kind of got into it with people so hard that I don't think that he could be in the same room as all these vatos and they not tear his head off. So because you've gone too full tard, remember you can only go half tard. Never, 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 never go full tard, people. Never go full tard. Never go full tard. And Chito Ranas has basically gone full tard. He's dissed people so much that it's kind of he's too far gone, and he's just such a superstar already. I think respectfully that he doesn't really need to be in this conversation. Maybe we'll return all three of these guys. So real quick, OG Joe's. So real quick, OGZ, Peso, and Chito Ranas are out of the mix again. Real quick, Chito Ranas, because he went full tard, did too much dissing, couldn't be in the room with everybody. Peso, because he's already elevated, he only disses his actual ops and he doesn't get involved in any of this internet drama. And OGZ, because he's changed the sound of Los Angeles, elevated, already a superstar, you know what I mean, and doesn't get involved in the drama. So these people are out of the conversation. Now, the people that are going to be involved in this conversation, starting with, I'm going to just go down the line and break down through the history of how this thing started, the history of how this North and South thing started on in the music industry. Way before this, in the 90s, when I was growing up, there was Dark Room Familia, 17 Reasons, and all these Chicano rappers, Capone, Criminal, all these guys, right? They didn't really interact. Every once in a while, they would throw blows at each other on wax and sometimes in person, but rarely. One time, Mr. Criminal almost got jumped in Utah, and Gold Toes saved him because even back then, my boy Julio Gold Toes Sanchez was thinking ahead, was a dreamer, was an elevator, was a man with vision. You know, he was a don, and the vato still is a don. So salute, salute, salute to my brother Gold Toes. Real quick before I forget, shout out to HD Barber in Petaluma, Santa Rosa, two locations in Santa Rosa on Mendocino and on Sebastopol Road in the heart of Roseland. And of course, in downtown Petaluma. Please go check out HD Barbershop. Much love to them and Eric getting my hair done nice and clean. You feel me? Making me look nice and ready to go for you people. Please, if you're going to get on the internet, look presentable. You feel me? Back to the show. So I'm going to go down a little bit of the history of how the North and the South kind of have conflicted, but also my story within it and the people that started the wave of how this all started. This didn't just come out of nowhere, people. I've been making plays for over 4 years in a dream to make North and South come together, not for no gangs or treaties or this or that, but for the music industry, because I believe if you're a gang member, but then you elevate to an artist, you have the right to work with anybody as long as they're honorable people. And in this video, I'm going to break down the people I believe are honorable and some of the people that have done some honorable things that are not right. But we all make mistakes and deserve second, third, and even fourth chances. Lefty gunplay. So here we go. Remember, there's North, South, Capone, these guys, right? They'd interact. Sometimes Gold Toes, stop some drama and said, hey, man, when we see each other, let's be cool. So basically, for a lot of times, it was kind of like a hands-off policy, You guys stay over there, we'll stay over here. It's all good. Don't trip. We'll go on our little tours. You go on your tours and we'll kind of miss each other. And that's how it was for years, right? And then what happened is, I'm not going to get into prison, but basically there was a treaty in prison between the North and the South, and that brought in everybody. And so because that has happened, it has slowly trickled out to the streets. And this doesn't mean that the streets have never been unified, but it means it started to trickle. So again, just like many movements started in prison, this movement started in prison. And the only reason I want to say that is shout out and salute to all the cons the prisoners, the men and women that are looked on by society as horrible people, but right now are making some of the most maturest, decisions inside a prison, and us out here can't even take a cue from them, and that's an embarrassment. I really should do this. But shout out to them for having a treaty so that they could live and prosper as much as they can within those four walls. Sad to say. Free the real, keep the fake. And if you're seeing this in prison and you need any support, reach out to me underscore or Pocho underscore official underscore Pocho one. After this treaty that started with the hunger strike and they started kind of trickling out into the streets, when people were getting out, letting them know, hey, bro, we're living with them now. We're doing this. And people could not believe it. Trust, ask anybody in California. They would have never believed that the North and the South would be eating together, tattooing, working out, doing any of the things that you see are going on. This is a historical moment, and we should all take heed and just watch it for a moment, just relax and enjoy that we are making history together. And there's going to be uncomfortable moments like we're going through in the music industry because there's a lot of contradictions and there's a lot of new experiences that artists are having once they join the music industry. Even joining the internet, I didn't understand about trolls or this or that. Nobody's ever disrespected me in person and got away with it. But trolls get away with, trolling you every day, right? And that's just part of the internet, but you got to be built for this. But the funny part is I made it this far, trust and believe ain't no troll gonna get me down and my people down, or any professional trolls that are like podcasters that are trying to divide our people or rappers. So from there, right? Remember where we're at right now is you stay in your area, I'll stay in my area. If we meet with each other, we're just gonna keep to ourselves. And yes, when Little Rob went up north, there was a little drama. When some homies went down south, I bet you there was some drama, or there's been a little bit of drama here and there, but nothing major, right? So it was always able to kind of keep it in the back. But what's happened with the internet, with Instagram, with food pages, with all these things, we were coming face to face with each other. You feel me? And also, we're starting to respect each other's art form. This is the first time, and I'll get into why I got involved in any of this. So let's fast forward. 2020, the pandemic hits. I'm a photographer in the industry, working all over the country and the world. But now I'm stuck at home doing nothing. I used to be on the radio for a little bit. I enjoyed it, but I was just really busy. So I stopped doing it. But when I did it, I had a popular show called the Pocho Live Show where I would go live. And then so what happened was I basically, in the pandemic, I had nothing to do. So I started going live with people on Instagram. And this is right in the beginning when you can go live with people. So I went with about 130 interviews. I did about 130 interviews with a bunch of fools. All these interviews, most of them were coming from the food community because I never seen no young rappers rapping their rapping their butt off and being Latino. They weren't sounding like I mean, they were sounding like 17 Reasons. They weren't sounding like Dark Room Familia. They weren't sounding like Mr. Criminal or Capone or Bozo or any, Chicano rappers. And I never really liked. The only Chicano rapper I really liked was Conejo, and then King Little G because he changed the sound. You feel me? That's another person that will be out of this mix because he's not really involved. He's going through personal problems. Shout out to King Little G. Hopefully he gets it together. And also Little Drummer would not be involved in this conversation either, just because he's not really involved right now. He's not doing a lot of songs. He does a song with Lefty, but I think Little Drummer is also letting the youngsters speak. So again, King Lil G, Little Drummer, Peso, OGZ, and Chito Hranes are out of this conversation because they're not really in this conversation. So after that, I uh I started interviewing all these guys, right? And a lot of them were Southsiders, but they didn't know I was from up north. And it doesn't matter because I don't present myself that because I'm a grown man and I'm come to you as an artist, as Pocho One, not as, whoop de whoop whoop from this neighborhood in this city. You know what I mean? I've learned not to speak on the details of my personal life in the gang life. Salute to my neighborhood. So as I move forward. So I started interviewing because I enjoyed their music. If they're from LA or San Jose, I didn't care. And that started to kind of build these conversations. And at the same time, Gold Toes had me come out and document his family, do a documentary on his family, on him, on his family, because I've been wanting to do that. I believe that Gold Toes has been one of the main factors in all of this. Since I was a kid, I jumped off the porch listening to 17 Reasons. In the North Side, this is how we ride. Red rag, do or die. Better running high because I'm not going to disrespect them. And I never knew that Gold Toes was the intro to 17 Reasons. and that he produced this whole compilation. I will argue that we need a California compilation. It can either be together or just one big compilation representing California, produced by Julio Gold Sanchez and hosted by Cholo Juan and your boy Pocho Juan, representing Northern California and Southern California. And these are the people that I believe that should be involved in this compilation, and the people that I've already excluded because they are already booming. So once I started interviewing all these guys and them starting to understand where I was from, and I started to be okay with this a little bit because it was about the music, well, boom, Juan from the Food Community tapped me to produce the Food Community podcast. And we would eventually do that and put on a bunch of people. I eventually would hire and bring on LA Icon. Then it would get all messy and we'd all eventually leave. And it kind of destroyed itself right now. It's sad because I do believe that me, LA Icon, and Juan from the Food Community, there's nobody better than us to represent foods and to do a podcast. And there was nobody better than us. And there after them, when I left or got fired, whatever you want to say, they tried to recreate, the truth, but you can't recreate the truth. There's certain ingredients. And that's why I went off, yes, because I was hurt. I'll admit it. I crashed out many times because I was hurt because we had something powerful. And I don't know what it is about our people that we just can't get it together in the moments when we need each other most. This Food Community podcast, my dream, of course, my vision was to bring one Northern California fool, one Southern California fool, and one Bakersfield fool, to bring one podcast, to bring all our people together, to bring all the fools together, all the top fools. But then the fools started acting like fools. We had Gold Toes on. And that was one of the starting facts. I remember being in Houston and telling Gold Toes, dude, you're the one. You gotta get on these podcasts. You're the coolest dude in the room. Think about it. Burner, any of these fools are in the room. Everybody gravitates towards Gold Toes. But when we're in rooms with like superstars and other people, everybody's talking to Gold Toes. Ain't nobody talking to the superstar. The superstar is talking to Gold Toes. Burner is talking to Gold Toes. Burner looks up to Gold Toes. So who better to produce this? Who better to trust? Who's been here the longest? Who has the biggest relationships? Who's the nicest? Who's the most mature, consistent with the business, is willing to outwork you, out rap you, out produce you, and outlive you? It's Gold Toes. Stop it. Everything I say are facts, basically. And if I don't get it right on the dot, I get pretty close. I do. I really do. I'm sorry. I have to admit it. I get pretty darn close. And so I started telling Gold Toes, we got to start doing these podcasts in Southern California. We got to take LA, and not take LA like that. Take LA and control it and none of that stuff. But just, it's the biggest market, the biggest for Latinos. Come on. And so what the first thing we do is the LA Cypher. After the LA Cypher, we go to Rhodium Radio, me and Gold Toes. Boom. After that, I hook him up with American Cholo, and he goes crazy on American Cholo. These are the beginnings of the North and the South. This is when people start getting uncomfortable. Right now, respectfully, Big Tone, all these other people are being cool with LA and all these other things. But before, where were they? Where were they when we were in the, on the front line taking shrapnel? You feel me? Where were they? And now they're there because it's easy and it's cool to do. But when I was talking about this, ain't nobody was talking about this. You guys need to check the calendar, check the stats, check the videos, check YouTube and Instagram. Your boy was speaking on this way before, but of course, I'm not as big as y'all, and I understand that and I respect it. And I'm more than anything just grateful that you guys are finally, it took you 4 or 5 years, but you're finally starting to catch on the importance of not coming together for no kumbaya, but because we're businessmen that are shrewd businessmen.
We understand the game, and the game is to be successful and to get as much as we can out of our day.
And we do that better together. It's just a fact. Networking is a huge part of any person's business. The more people you know, the better you're plugged in. You don't know the opportunities that somebody right next to you could give you and you could give them. So it could mutually benefit both of you. And so from there, what happens? What happens? Gold Toast goes on a major sick run and is in every blog, YouTube thing, everything. And after American Cholo, he does the full community podcast that LA Icon deleted. Another shady ass move from LA Icon, bro. You should be ashamed of yourself, dog. These are art, bro. These are memories. These are people took time to do all these interviews. Gold Toast joke came down all the way just for this interview, and now it's deleted. It's just sad, bro. Now you're not even there. You left. You abandoned shit when it got hard. LA Icon. So my consistent dream was not to bring us together for no unity, but to bring us together because it makes sense, you guys. It makes sense. Let's make it make sense. And then from then, the hater world jumped in the mix. Bozo jumped in the mix when we thought Lefty was coming to bring in and be open to everybody because a couple Northerners didn't want to do music with him. Basically, he started flashing and disrespecting bands. Bands comes down. He disrespects Lazy. Lazy, before that, Lazy goes at it with him, right? Rico and Cheeto. I mean, it's just like a Venn diagram of drama, right? And now what happens? Yes, everybody has views, but everybody looks like buffoons. We all look like buffoons. You think we look good in front of the blacks, in front of the other races, what we're doing? This is buffoonery, people. We have to come to terms with this. And so in this video, I'm going to set up why I think it's important for us to create a California car, to create a California compilation with these artists, because these artists, I believe, can truly bring us together in a form now that can be something new where we don't have to it doesn't have to be we're just all cool with each other. But if you want to work with somebody from LA, if you want to do a show in LA and you're from the Bay and you're a northerner, you can. If you're a southerner and if Lefty want to do a show in San Francisco, we show him love. If bands want to do a show in LA, Lefty shows them love. And they all party and have a good time together and get these females and have babies and leave all that gang politics to the streets. Leave it. The streets are still there. If you guys really want to show how tough you are, go back to the streets. But for now, if you're not going to be in the streets, let's be honest. And recently, big hit, a Blood that just got out of prison, just did a song with bands and a song with Lefty. And we just saw on this big podcast, this white boy that he was on, I forgot his name, he's like a Nelk boy too, but that he's trying to bring, bridge the gap now. And for the first time, Lefty is open. What a concept. Again, what did I tell you? I told you guys Lefty was going to apologize. And I don't want to say this to push Lefty away from apologizing, but let's be honest, bro. Let's be honest. He knew right when he made that mistake that it bit him in his butt, and he's been backpedaling ever since. And he keeps trying to hate and make little things like with the Acito thing. Lefty, stop it with the mark your calendar. You ain't going to be over there. We already know that you like the OC, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Because I got still a little bit of respect for you. But the reality is, you should be at the show with Acito, welcoming it, and you guys should do a show together and get money. Acito and Lefty could do a show together and get money, but no, they're on Lefty's on full pages hating on Acito, while Acito just doesn't focus on him and keeps going. And in the same period where Gold Toes is going around, this is when Swifty Blue's getting involved. This is when Grifo's getting involved. And this is post. Remember, this is before the drama, bro. Before the drama. Gold Toes was already in there podcasting. We were doing ciphers. We were signing people in LA. And then Adam 22 started interviewing people. You feel me? And of course, Lefty. When you start interviewing people real quick, I do want to say that I don't think Adam 22 does it on purpose, but you start interviewing people and the information starts to get out. So he started interviewing Cheeto, he started interviewing Lefty, he started interviewing Roddy Rax, and Roddy Rax salute was the only one that didn't disrespect the North. You feel me? And if anything, it was only Lefty. And once Lefty did that, it opened up the floodgates. You feel me? And so at first we thought it was already going to be something really good. Conejo says it's positive. He's open to it. He starts doing work with Little One. But then we got the hater world. Bozo starts hating. And then Lefty comes in and out of left field starts hating on the North. You feel me? And again, that's when I started saying, pushing back on Lefty and saying, bro, why you didn't need to do that? You were already good on your own. You know what I mean? We were doing work together. We were going to do an interview. We did a collab post. We did all these little things. I caught you before everybody at the food community didn't even want to mess with you, Lefty. But you, Lefty, you can get right, bro. We were just saying that on this podcast after all this dissing and after all of us ourselves making a buffoonery and mockery out of ourselves for the views. We're dancing. We're dancing for everybody. We're dancing for everybody. But see, Daddy came here to regulate, bro. I came here to regulate. You feel me? I came here to regulate because I don't know what else to do but to stand tall, bro. Ain't nobody standing for us. Ain't nobody saying nothing. And just like Snowman said, nah. But just like some people said, if nobody's gonna say something, I'm gonna say something. And we could really do this. So what have we gone through? We've gone through the first part was little compilations happening in Southern California, Northern California, little bit of dissing. When we see each other, we're gonna keep it cool. The whole criminal and gold toast thing. Then from there, my experience is bringing Gold Toast to the podcast, starting to interview people from Southern California, Northern California at the same time. That started being the first kind of merging. Then Gold Toast took it further, did a cipher, signed it, or helped Swifty Blue, Doughboy, and Grifo. And then from there, Adam 22 comes in and starts interviewing fools, and fools start hating on each other for knowing that at this level of the platform, Lefty knew he could go viral, and he does. And he goes viral one after another on every platform that's big, from Back on Fig to Community Clip to all that, to the LA Gangs one. He starts going viral on everything, dissing the homies, and that's when I push back. And so then this is where we're at right now, where we're in high diss mode, where it's all about dissing people. Where now Northerners are going down south just to prove a point. Where now, Lefty Gunplay is hating on Acito doing his concert. Where Bozo can't do his concert up north. Where Acito gets caught up in Santa Cruz and people get hurt. Now we're killing it for each other, literally hurting ourselves, not making sure we cannot do events. And what Dubs proves it and says it, that a lot of the Northerners have been more respectful overall. And I'm just saying, we need to come to terms that this is not the way gentlemen and professionals and men interact. This is not how we do it. And we need to interact in a more conducive way for our growth, people. Listen, I know that this might not get all the views because it's not all edgy, but let's really break it down. Let's break it down. We've gone through the steps. We've gone through the kind of missing each other, trying to mess with each other, then it not really working, now dissing each other. Now, let's try for once. Like I always say when I quit drinking, and I tell other vatos to quit drinking for a year. You can always go back to it. You can always go back to drinking. You feel me? But just why not just give it a break just for a little bit to see how you feel? So right now I'm gonna go down the line of people I believe that should be on this compilation. And we can start adding people. Some youngsters I didn't add. You know what I mean? There's the little Mexican black kid from the OC and Young Eggs would be good on this. But let's start with first and foremost Gold Toes, Julio Gold Toes Sanchez. Of course, I just broke it down about Julio. He's been doing it since day one. He's a producer. He's the CEO of GT Entertainment, GT Digital Distribution Company. He does movies. He manages brands. He networks. He's the man. He does it all. He does it all. And he does it well. He can rap. He can produce. He is the bridge of all bridges. He's the San Francisco Bridge. You feel me? He's the bridge. He's the 6th Street Bridge. He's going to bridge our people. He got the producer skills, the rapping skills, the ear for the music, the connections, the experience. He knows how to go through all this tomfoolery of drama.
He dealt with the hater world. He dealt with Bozo. He dealt with Lefty. Everybody hating on him, and he took it with stride with a smile. Because you smile in their face and bury them. You mean? And who did he start working with? Little One. He shot out Little One on the Bootleg Kev show, and I think also on American Cholo. Like, do you guys know Little One? I didn't even know about him. And I actually didn't know about him either. I'm trying to tell you guys, I do not know anything about Chicano rap. I can't stand Chicano rap, to be honest. It don't got good beats. It sounds like you're in like a closet. And it's not the rhyme play, the delivery isn't strong, bro. You know what I mean? Another person that's gonna be out of this mix, Cypress Hill. As we talk, I'm just pushing people out. Again, on the list of people that are out, OGZ, Peso, Chito Grandes, Cypress Hill. You know what I mean? The Joint and Little Iggs, youngsters that should be involved. But the first person is Gold Toes. The second person is Little One from San Diego. Little One is a rapper coming out of San Diego, dog. He is one of the godfathers of Chicano rap. He's one of the first creators of the Chicano rap sound coming out of San Diego. A lot of people think that Chicano rap came out of Los Angeles, but let's be honest, Chicano rap truly started in San Diego, you know? So shout out to Little One. Another person who's out the mix, you might think that's going to be on this group, is Little Rob. Little Rob is not on this mix. Why? Because he's a cool vato. He did his little run. He did a CD, but he doesn't seem like he's really trying to unify and kind of hang out. And anybody that knows him knows that when he's around the group of other rappers and people, he doesn't really socialize. He gets in respectful, cool, will talk to you, but then he's out. So I just don't see him on a compilation. If I do, he would be like an honorable mention. We'll bring him in, but he's not the center focus. Shout out to him. Another person who will not be on this compilation is Little Grifo. Grifo's locked up. Hope he's free. I helped him get on the full community. And the second he got on the full community, he forgot about me, unfollowed me. So no love to Little Grifo. Get your life together and get back on the horse. And hopefully you can be on this compilation. But Little One. So the first two who either collab or will be on this compilation is Gold Toes and Little One. They had a massive run interviews on Bootleg Cav. You know what I mean? Jumped on Shimo Media, did a cipher over there, did a bunch of work together, did a song together. Little One made the song that he rapped with Jenny 69. Come on, bro. And then they did a song together. And Gold Toes, you know, produced some music for him and all that. And they really did a movement, a wave. They threw interviews and songs and ciphers. They really hit every avenue of the hip hop game and community together. So shout out to Little One and Gold Toes. The next two on the list, starting with my brother Conejo. Coming out of Dead End, you feel me? Heartbeats Gang, salute South Central. You know what I mean? And Conejo is a legend, the only Chicano rapper that I have ever listened to from beginning to end, from, you know, right when I got into LA to now. That's what I mean, from beginning to end. My life started when I got to LA in 2001. Rest in peace to Daniel. Rest in peace to Daniel Chapolin from South Central who got me on Conejo. Conejo is a G for many reasons, from the streets, from surviving the streets, from surviving assassination attempts, from surviving hater raids, you know what I mean? From surviving all these things to come out to be on movies with Shia LaBeouf, to make great music again, to put me in a music video with him, knowing where I was from, you know what I mean? Working with Coyotes for hire. Shout to them. They will be back on this conversation in a minute. To being open and publicly saying there's nothing wrong with Gold Toes working in Los Angeles as long as he comes with respect. I don't even think he put it like that, but it's already a given that Gold Toes is going to come with respect. And he tells a story about how he got nothing but love from Northerners when he was up there, and how we should show the same when you're in LA, right? These are the stories we need to show and hear, people. We don't need to hear Bozo's lame stories talking about hating on the Northerners when he never even met one or got beat up by one or something, because he got something's going on with Bozo. Bozo, you got to work on it, go to therapy, figure out why you hate Norteño so much. This shit is weird. Shit is wild. But Conejo came out and said, let the vato work. They showed me love up there. So that's why the reason Conejo definitely has to be on this list. And I'm going to start kind of with what I consider kind of like the OGs, because these are some of the guys that can still understand the young people, still rock with them, hold their own, but do their own thing and lead the next generation into a righteous place. The next person on the list, Louis Loco, Louis Loke, coming out of the San Francisco Bay Area, baby. The dude with the dopest comb over you'll ever seen in your life. Louis Loke is known for his fiery, ooh, sorry, just gets me pumped up. Listen, thinking about him. Louis with his fiery deliveries of hip hop mixed with the street life together for like on some gumbos, on some shit, just a menudo, I don't know, some mix of hip hop and the streets, grimy, rough, edgy, disrespectful almost. Somebody that will intimidate you in person with his lyrical flow. Louis Loco, somebody that has interviewed with me, has been there with Goto since the beginning, who's one of the first generation of kids that Goto's put on, probably one of the first Latinos that Goto's put on that could really rap, And today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, but today, Louis Loco can rap and out rap most of these vatos, and why he has to be on the route to not. He's not the OGs, but he's kind of in the middle with me. We're like the like how what's his name said, the middle child. There's like the OGs and the youngsters, and we're in the middle. Me and Louis Loke, Louis Loco, so representing the middle. You feel me? Not the OGs and not the youngsters, but the middle, like me. You feel me? Shout out to Louis Loco. Check out his music. Check out our interview. Check out his flow on Shimo Media. Check out all his stuff on GT. Check out, he's a dope GT artist. Louis Loco, Louis Loke, Louis. And he also did a dope, the history of the Bay interview. He's doing his thing. He's really outside. You will not get on his lives and out rap him. You will not get on his out lives and out rap Louis Loco. You won't do it. You can't do it. It will not be done, because he will go live and outlive you. He will unalive you, outlive you, and outrap you. Shout out to Louis Loco. All right, back, and then to keep it in the OG kind of middle ground area, we're gonna go with BFD, big fat dude, I think, or big fat dog. My bad. I'm making this kind of a little bit off the cuff, but this BFD has recently got out of prison and made a wave with his music. One of my favorite songs is with the AWACS. If only they knew. If only they knew. No, 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 no. If only they knew. No, 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 no. All my siblings, what they did to my. Ooh. That song is amazing, bro. The part when BFD says that, like, you can go home if you want. Talking about being in the cell, like, you don't gotta, I know you miss your mom. Like, he really shows vulnerability. BFD is a big tough guy that's looks like somebody, a big old somebody you might be able to hug, maybe. You know what I mean? He has come out on podcast saying he won't work with the South. He don't get down. It's like no disrespect necessarily, but at the same time, disrespect, because they still go out in the North, and he's not feeling any of that kind of necessarily. Unity's kind of taken, I feel like he kind of took like a little sneak shots at Gold Toes with that little introduction of Gold Toes and in one of his raps. And he's took some shots at this at the other side, but respectfully, I think he has the right to. He's lived that life more than I have, and who knows what he's been through. But I do think that he is conscious enough to understand that to get on this would be a good look, and it could help his people, and maybe he could have some dialogue with some of these vatos and to clean it up. You know what I mean? So shout out to BFD. Love his music. Dope tattoo artist. También. He probably don't mess with me, but I mess with you, brother. I like your music. My favorite song with you and AWACS. Bump it at the gym every day. BFD, I bump that song at the gym every day. So BFD, so what? So who do we have so far? We have Gold Toes, Little One, Conejo, BFD, and who's next? Of course, you can't, bro. We will not. We will never do something without the face of Los Angeles. the face of LA, Baldy, Baldacci, the guy, him. You feel me? Him, the guy that's pressing Boo Devil. We can never forget Baldacci, brother, coming from Florencia, one of the biggest gangs in Los Angeles. Baldy, Baldacci, the face of Los Angeles, who has probably been doing it as long as many of these vatos. He's still in the middle ground, I'd say. Not an OG, not a youngster, but has been doing it consistently for a minute. Baldacci, not only is he the face of LA, has had great branding, can really rap, and has kind of really created a way for his community for many years now. But in the moments when you want to kind of see vatos be closed minded, like the hater world does, like the bozo is, like Lefty, Baldacci's not. He was open to work with Gold Toes. They started to hate on him, and what? Out of all the people that when he's the face of LA, Gold Toes is in LA, in East LA with Jenny 69 doing a song, and he shows up to show face, to show face. And what happens? It's that good energy that Gold Toes has, baby. And I'll show the clip of them meeting. And it's all love from there. They do business together. They make us dope song together. They start making movies together. You feel me? Things are starting to crack off when Baldacci was in. They start to build personal relationships through networking. First, it was business, and then it became a very personal situation. Because what happened? Baldy was in the hospital, and he got on the internet and said, look it, this Vato's over here visiting me, not talking to me about music, not worrying about none of that. And all you Vatos that are hating, not my own homeboys, but the Vatos that are hating on me talking to Gold Toes, didn't call me, didn't stop by, ask me how I'm doing. So you guys worry about yourselves over there while we worry about ourselves over here. Good music, consistent, open minded, a businessman before anything, a man before anything, a gangster before anything. Like he said, he signed to the hood first. I know what any gangster when they heard that, you know they were going off when they heard he say, "I'm assigned to the streets first." Oh my god, bro! Bro, disrespectful, homie. It was so disrespectful. It was respectful, but the truth is, he's not signed to Gold Toes. He was on the Bootleg Kev show explaining himself, which he didn't have to. He called into American Cholo, which he didn't have to, but he's a humble dude. Hater World tried to hate on him. He checked him, went over there, tried to get the little tea, and, it's crazy what they're doing over there. Shout out to the Hater World, though. Honestly, I respect the Hater World. I really like his work ethic, and I think they should just work it out because we are all stronger together. So even though me and the Hater World go back and forth, in the end, we stay in the bounds. And salute to you, Hater World. I do think it's funny that Baldacci is trolling you, and I do think you kind of deserve it. But I hope that you guys can come to some kind of terms. Just do an interview so you guys can be cool. I think it'll be perfect. Shout out to the Hater World, though. I know if the Hater World had me up there, it'd be a whole different situation, let me tell you. But back to the story at hand. Here we go. So again, Baldacci's in the building, BFD's in the building, Cornell's in the building, Louis Loco's in the building, Little One's in the building, Gold Toes is in the building. This is a party. So these are the people that are invited to the party. Do you think so far that everybody, this is what I want to know in the comments. If we were having a party, could all these people be in the same room together? So far, one more time. Baldacci, BFD, Cornejo, Louis Loco, Little One, Gold Toes, and me. We could all be in the same room together. Moving on to some of the more. Who are we going to have next? It's Lefty Gunplay. Lefty Gunplay. Lefty Gunplay is a rapper coming out of Baldwin Park, has exploded the Chicano rap scene, the rap scene. He is one of the biggest rappers of all time right now. I'm hands down, I'm not going to deny it. He deserves it. Went from 5, 6, 7,000 followers when I met him, when I met you, when nobody at the food community or indicted wanted to deal with you. But I did. The only Buster. Remember that. Remember that. Write it down. Take a picture and put it in your mind, bro. Seriously. Respect it, homie. Come on. You know. Me and you know, bro. And I got the messages to prove it, bro. So don't even. But Lefty Gunplay has blown up with Boulevard Baby, with all this dissing the North, saying that on podcasts, going crazy on podcasts, going viral, everything he says, saying that he wouldn't let his daughter, date a black guy, saying F the North, going out, disrespecting Lazy, disrespecting bands, saying that Gold Toes ain't nothing, that he wanted, blowing them up about going to the bathroom and taking that in the mall. Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. If anything, I'd call it a compliment, that Gold Toes, I mean, you put him on blast about how much of a hustler Gold Toes is, you feel me? So anyway, back to it. Boom. Lefty Gunblade has blown up, and I have to be honest, we can't do this compilation without him, man. We need Lefty Gunplay up in here. Now, the question is, can he be part of the party? Will he get DP'd? I'm gonna jump him. You know what I mean? I might defend him. But will Baldacci knock this dude out when he sees him? Will he be cool with them? We don't know. We will find out. I hope to see this one day. Lefty Gunplay again, killing it, selling out shows, throwing up 31, getting dissed in his own hood by bands, throwing out people's names first, and then becoming a Cholo Karen, because what he does is like a Karen. He hates on you when you react like a real person does and hate back. Then he becomes a victim. Oh my God, poor me. He's on this new thing like, oh, wouldn't it be lovely if we all came back together now? On this Bradley Cooper interview with Big Hit. Like, come on, bro. With that, you went with that energy when you were saying everybody check their calendars with Acito. You weren't with that energy when you were hating on Rico. You weren't with that energy when you hated on Lazy and bands, all of these vatos. And I still have never met nobody from Homeboy Industries to my family that walked level 4s, 3s, and act the way you do. Granted, I've never even been to any of that stuff. Like the homie stuff from White Fence. The only yard I've ever walked on was my front yard when I had one, when I didn't have an apartment. Shout out to him. Homeboy from Hollywood White Fence. Ben. Just say his first name. Salute, bro. So Lefty Gunplay got to be there. He's the superstar. He's the famous gang banger. You feel me? He's out here, dog. 31ing it. But Tavato is a good artist. He's a superstar, and he probably still has a stand. He probably still has a chance to say sorry, daddy. Come back into the circle and be part of the family. Don't be a J Cat. Don't be a Vato that stays out there because your ego. Come back, say sorry, come back to the fold. Lefty Gunplay, we need you. All right, moving right along. Who else? GB Ghetto Boy. It's the Ghetto Boy out of my head. I'm Marced, wherever the Vatos from. Central Cali 209. Ghetto Boy doing his thing. Been doing it for a long time. Amazing rapper, good lyricist, good delivery, funny little face, respectfully, but deserves to be there. Forgot what they try to say he looked like, but it's true. Vato looks kind of funny looking, bro. But he's a G, bro. I respect his music. I do listen to it at the one of his hustle songs that he did with the homeboy from Sacramento. Oh my god, bro. I love that song. Trap, I think trap. The trap song. Uh, anyway, he's a G. He just got into this big indictment. I'm not gonna get into that because I'm not into dry snitching and talking about people's personal gangster lives. But he got involved in the law, and the law is kind of trying to make it bigger than what it is. So he's gonna be okay. So salute to him. But GB gotta be there. If we can't do this without GB, Lefty, somebody that has to be there. GB, respect me. I'm not gonna say who in this group of people don't have to be there, but there's certain people that got to be there. GB has to be there because he's one of the first to kind of bridge the gap from the old G people like Gold Toes and them to the new school of Northerners. He was embraced and did, with Red Alert, worked with all youngsters. He's been one of the main guys bringing the young life of Northern California up. So salute to GB. He definitely got to be on the compilation, not only for his musical talent, but his mental maturity and his historical consistency of being in the middle of all of it. And he will stay relevant to this day. All right, we still got a couple more people. A couple more. Who else are we going to jump in there? It's Roddy Rax. Roddy Rax got to be up in there. Come on. Roddy Rax coming out of La Puente, Bridgetown, representing the bridge, baby. Let's go. Roddy Rax been doing his thing for a minute. Kind of reminds me of Sugar Wolf. Got a little pimp style to him, says the N-word, doesn't care, not around any black people, but still, for some reason, says the N-word. I do understand, though. It's kind of like saying that he's real grimy. His homies are really grimy, and they just talk like real grimy, and they consider that grimy. But killing it, was invited to Thizzler. him and Lefty kind of went back and forth at first to and help them get popular. They didn't go back and forth, but they had like a issue with the girl and another homeboy. That other homeboy said, Rowdy, I had an issue with Lefty, but if you guys want to do something, let's kill it. So they killed it like men. And see, Rowdy and Lefty were able to kill some drama that Lefty made a mistake again, and Rowdy cleaned it up for him. They were able to do business. Now, why can't we do that across the board? And Lefty start being more mature because you heard Rowdy Rex saying he couldn't do more music with you because your work ethic is not there. You're in the lab with him all day and you guys make a song or two. When he's in the lab with other people, it makes 8 or 9 songs. So come on, do better, Lefty, but it's all good. Roddy Rax definitely has to be there. He's part of the new wave representing the San Gabriel Valley, but also Los Angeles County. Let's go. All right, only a couple more. Who do you think we got? Bro, we got it 4 times, baby. It's Rico Too Smooth. We can't get nowhere without the smooth, the smooth operator, the vato that wears old school 90s clothes one days, new school tight pants the other day, working out, doing tried 1,000,000,000,000 Navy SEALs, locked up in the bay doing Navy SEALs or what it do. Rico Too Smooth, probably one of the number one guy I believe in Northern California that could be a superstar. Half black, half Mexican, from the neighborhood of Broderick in Sacramento, representing 916 sickness. That 9-1 sickness, he definitely has the sickness, but the Vato doesn't want to work with Southerners. We got to get him more open minded. He can't do it alone. Came down to Adam 22, no jumper, super respectful. But the Vato does not see the bigger picture. We're going to have to noogie him into the big picture because his talent, his looks, his overall superstar persona he's another person that has to be part of this compilation. If Rico Too Smooth is not part of this compilation does not go. Shout out to Rico Too Smooth. I know his mama. Shout out to Project. Shout out to all the homies. We don't follow each other. I don't know why, but I've been supportive since day one. You were one of my first interviews, bro. Salute to you. I hope we can work things out and move forward cordially as men and as professionals and gentlemen in the music industry. Again, we can't do this without Rico Too Smooth. Dopest lyricist. My favorite song from him is Deeper Than Rap. It goes deep. Please go look up Deeper Than Rap and just know that we're doing pretty good for some lame farmers from up north. They went at it together, but let's start with Lazy. Lazy Boy coming out of San Jose, the smooth operator, the rapper that's kind of shy, kick back for the ladies mostly, has got a little drama that I'm not even going to get into that is not true, but still staying strong through people trying to hate on him because, he's still in his hood. He still got love in the hood, still got love for San Jose. San Jose is one of the biggest cities in the Bay Area, one of the biggest cities in the United States, and especially in California. And Lazy Boy represents as well. Been killing it for years, actually, consistently killing it. Yes, he got dissed by Lefty, and he came back, dissed him well. Little weirdo, he got into a little weirdo. Tito, little weirdo got at him a little bit, but they're two totally different rappers, so I can't even. But Lazy Boy was the first Northerner. Yes, 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 yes. There was a Northerner when Backpack Boys went over there, but he interviewed with Duno and AD, the first Northerner to interview with Adam 22, the 22ster, and be a Northerner rapper, not just a businessman. Again, been on all the podcasts, follows me, supportive of my work. I support him. Kept it original, kept it respectful. All he said was on Adam 22 was that all he said on Adam 22 and No Jumper was that he felt like Southern rappers were copying them and copying their style because they're a bigger city and a bigger platform in general. People start thinking it's LA style when it's really Northern California style. I don't think that that's that much of a diss, but people took it the wrong way and they went at it. And so Lefty disses him too. So then they go back at it. But Lazy is another one that because of the drama, the recent drama, he has to be here. Plus, we need somebody that's going to holler at the females. I'm sorry, people. If you don't holler at females in your music, I don't know what you're doing. What's the point? Why are we all here if we're not going to talk to women? Let's be honest. Who else are we going to be talking about? Little Weirdo coming out of San Diego, the only one besides Little One representing, the only one for the youngsters representing in San Diego. Again, I said, what's his name's not going to be involved because he's locked up. Little One is the OG representing San Diego, and Little Weirdo will be representing San Diego as the youngster. He has already popped off. He's a sick ass rapper. He went at it with Lazy. The news a little bit recently because he was listening to Woody. Ooh, the Cholo Karens were after him. But amazingly, he understands good music. Why? Because he's a good lyricist. He's a good rapper. He really knows how to rap. He's not a gangster. I think his family was, but he really does know how to rap. He is one of the guys on this list. He might not have to be here, but his lyrics, his rapping skills, we would really need him to kind of show how good we are at rapping. Little Weirdo is probably one of the best rappers in this group when he mixes his beats in a good beat selection and funny good videos, even with Duno and doing stuff like that. He has superstar accolades and how he vibes and talks about women too. Little Weirdo definitely could do it. Even when he did the lazy diss, it wasn't that big of a diss. And I actually thought that was good because I feel like he was just tapping back and moving on. Same with Lazy, tapping back and moving on. I do believe if people are going to do songs together, that Lazy and Little Weirdo would do a good song together because Little Weirdo will rap in the traditional way and Lazy will kind of sing a little bit, sing rap, and they can holler at the females together. So, huh? Huh? Did anybody did anybody say huh? 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 Can't do it like Cholo one. But Rico Two Smoke, we gotta have you. All right, just a little bit more. Bro, you guys thought I was gonna forget about Swifty Blue, baby. Swifty Blue. Swifty Blue, 3 times for Swifty Blue. One of the dopest lyricists that coming out of Los Angeles, hands down, historically ever. He can really rap, makes hits, millions and millions and millions of views, connected to No Jumper, connected to Compa Raider, connected to all kinds of people, done rap with major hitters in the industry, is a real vato from his section, respectfully. Yes, he got into drama. Yes, he got into it with Bootleg Kev saying that he can't, he would only sign to a Mexican. I actually never thought that was that big deal. He was just trying to say that he wanted to keep it within his own people. Again, though, the music industry is about networking and how broad you can open yourself to people. So again, Swifty, everybody, please, the more open-minded, the better you're gonna get. And not so he went through all this drama for some kind of got like put on like, got put on hold, kind of like put on pause for a minute. But he's back. His song Letter to My Ops, Letter to the Ops is one of the dopest diss songs. See, Chito and Swifty did diss songs that were like real diss songs, real gangster songs that you can get kind of gangster with. Bands was a silly song, but he killed it, destroyed it. I already did a video. I'm not gonna get into it. About to hit 1 million. But oh, come on, dog. Grimy Shug, my boys, Swifty Red, dissing everybody. I should do a whole video about how he disses everybody on the South Side. And then he shows Band's video about Lefty disses Lefty, Bozo, G Face. I think even. I don't know if he does G Face. King Little G. Oh, he does Travi. Travi, why'd you unfollow me, homie? We were close all the way since fucking Homeway Industries, bro. Um, he just disses everybody over there. Devour, Little Weirdo for saying that he's not part of he's on a gangbanger. Why is he getting involved in the ops? Oh God. And Swifty Blue is just one of the biggest hit makers in Southern California, as a Latino and also just straight across hip hop. He can cross barriers, build bridges, he can burn bridges, he can rap, he can market, he knows how to dress, he knows how to look, he got the look, he knows how to take pictures. He's a superstar in his own right. Swifty Blue, Swifty Red, respectfully, is another one we need and cannot have without. This compilation will not go forward without Swifty Red. I say it again. This compilation will not go forward without Swifty Red. Bands in this B. Bands from the Roses from Rosetown, California, Santa Rosa, California, North Bay, from Kitten Court, right there, shot to the whole Southwest, South Park, you feel me, Beechwood at Kitten Court, you feel me, Roseland, West 9th, you know what I'm saying? Apple Valley, Valley Oak, 2600 West Still Lane, Northeast LA, Northeast Santa Rosa. Let's go. Bands is really doing his thing, bruh. Bands is responsible for destroying mics, for destroying ciphers, for being very aggressive on the mic, almost eating it. Every cipher he's been on, in my opinion, he's destroyed it, been the king of those ciphers. Respectfully, on one of his first ciphers, he blew his competition out of the water respectfully and said, I'm not from Vallejo, I'm from Rosa. And I can't explain to you, but being from the North Bay, Vallejo is always representing kind of the North Bay, and Santa Rosa is kind of the bigger stepchild or something because we're twice the size of Vallejo, but get twice the disrespect. So thank you, Bands, for putting my city on the map. But Bands has been recently involved in right in the middle of all of this. You know what I mean? He stayed out of all of this. He got onto No Jumper, and what happened? He got a little spicy on there, of course, because dudes from Santa Rosa hit different. We really do hit different, bro. We hit different. So Bands was finally got on there and was like, Adam, ask me the real questions. What's up? F Lefty. I'll fight that fool, or I'll go bar to bar. I got 10, I got 20. His homie had 20 on it. Adam turned him down. So now Lefty turned down, or Adam turned down the fight or to try to even bring it to Lefty. Then, because Lefty disrespects him on a song, which was not a good song, this freestyle song he did, you know what I mean, with the over a beat that was a superstar beat. When you're doing diss songs, use your own beats so it's your own original concept. Don't try to use superstar songs that everybody's gonna bump to. That's cheating. Anyway, he does that, doesn't do a good job, throws up 31, and Bands destroys Lefty. I already made enough videos about it. Whole point is Bands has to be involved in this, just like Lefty. Question is, can they all be in the same room together? You saw that Little Hit is talking to Bands, did the song with Lefty. So is the Big Hit talking about Bands in the recent interview with Bradley Cooper? You let me know, or Bradley Martin, whatever his name is, the white boy from Nelk. You let me know if Big Hit is talking about Bands or Lazy working with Lefty and trying to bring this together. Because if you heard him say that he was talking to a real one from up north and said that he didn't have a problem with Lefty and that they could do something if Lefty got right. But Lefty still didn't want to admit it, but did say he did soften up. Lefty. Salute Lefty in this fact that he was even open to Shart to show that he's open to the idea. And I don't think that I don't even think he needs to apologize like Grimy Suge did. But then he goes back and hates on the North again. Man, these Southerner rappers are off the hook, bro. Some of them, at least. Some of them. But we got to have him there. We can't do it without Bands. He's about to hit 1 million. No, Lefty did not come to Santa Rosa. Stop it. Lefty did not come to Santa Rosa. Lefty Gunplay did not come to Santa Rosa. Let's be honest. You know Lefty would have got out of the car and showed his face, first of all. So stop it, everybody. These full community blogs, and you got to stop following these pages. They're selling you fake news. They destroyed the podcast. They don't care about us. Juan could have brought us all together. I don't know why you guys follow the food community when they don't care about us. And they are not like us. But all right, my bad. But Band's got to be there, from his flow aggressive nature on the mic to how he puts things together to just being the center of attention right now in the California Chicano rap scene. All right, we only have a couple left, people. Who else? Who else? Again, Baldacci, BFD, Conejo, Louis Luke, Gold Toes, Little One, Lefty Gunplay, Roddy Rax, Rico 2 Swifty, and Bands. The last two. We gotta have Acito in there. One of the dopest lyricists Northern California has to offer. I believe gets a lot of vibes from Detroit music scene, even a little bit from Chicago. Is probably one of the only rappers out of this group that's a Northerner who doesn't spit that much about Northern politics, doesn't get involved in the drama, supports his Crip cousin on No Jumper, gets in fights and takes fades because he heard this one dude Slug or whatever hating on the homies. So he's a real one in the field. We can trust him. We can back him. And he is when it comes to flow and lyrics, he destroys all of these guys. By far the best rapper on this list, I have to say. But real quick, the person that comes in right there, that is not a gangbanger, not involved, but tapped into the streets, tapped into Los Angeles. Oh, oh, oh! Coyotes for hire, dog. The Coyotes. Coyotes, dog. All right, all right, all right, all right. Listen, I know that they're dressed crazy, they act wild, but what? Who else has a has a vibe with Shaq? Who else got signed by Whack? Who else can out rap anybody? The reason why I want them kind of close to Asito is because they would get together and do the craziest lyrics, historical moments and memories that we would ever understand and feel to the new generation and beyond, bro. Coyote for Hire are the guys that can soften the group, can bring everybody together, can give people some fashion statements, can still rap their butt off, bro. Seriously, can hang with them that are not scared. Work with Shaq, work with Cornejo. We were all in the rap video together. You know what I mean? We're the first ones after Doughboy actually was the first interview with LA Icon and me. You know, Coyotes for Hire. Again, signed by Whack. Worked with Mario Lopez, worked with Amazing Legends. You know, what I mean, mix it up, make really invest in their music videos, invest in their craft, make the dopest reels on Instagram, rapping ass reels. They don't even call it that, but I'm just naming it. The Coyotes for Hire rapping ass reels. But yes, I know you might think I should bring somebody else in. And why does Coyote for Hire does it make sense? Yes, it makes sense because they are probably one of the sickest lyricists in this whole group. Could help the whole group kind of come together, soften the gang vibes, and open up the conversations of just hip hop. People, this is the list, people. This is the list. And again, hosted by your boy Pocho One and Cholo One. Did I hear a? Did I hear a? Cholo One is a YouTuber extraordinaire coming out of Chiques, where I was born and raised. Well, I was actually born in Santa Paula. Salute to VSP, SP out there in Santa Paula. But I was raised in Chiques till I was 4, and then I moved to Santa Rosa. But shout out to El Rio Gang, shout out to Cholo One, destroying Adam 22 in terms of the numbers, just being supposedly a YouTuber, small YouTuber, but doing big YouTube numbers. Big Sureño numbers, respectfully. Big Oxnard numbers. Big Chicas numbers. Big Chicago, little Chicago numbers. Big El Rio Gang numbers. Big Raider numbers. Eh? Can I get a with that something this something with that dicho, with that being established or whatever he says? Cholo One, you gotta look him up. Maniac on YouTube. One of the first vatos I started interacting on the internet with. Has been a real one. Went back and forth from jail, kept it solid, paroled from a GP yard, mainline. I don't know all that stuff, but what I'm saying is solid individual in the streets, in his community. We did an interview on Full Community, but of course it didn't come out. LA Icon did another one with him, which was not good. Sorry, but the one he did with Negra was dope. It was okay, the Full Community one. But the part was one. The thing is, LA Icon doesn't understand Full Community or Food's Gone Wild that much. So Juan and Maniac really went at it. Cholo Juan and the Rich Homie Juan from the Full Community, the owner. But recently, Cholo Juan has been all through the headlines. He's gone back and forth. He's probably one of the, he says, the first guy to be a YouTuber or homeboy to go to jail or to prison, come back out as a YouTuber and still GP, be solid. So salute to Cholo Juan. I believe he doesn't use all this stuff that Blue Devil does, but his phone and in his car at a park, lo que sea, because when you're speaking the truth, it doesn't matter where you're at, Vato, but the real feel it, smell it, and can taste it. And Vato Cholo Juan coming out of El Rio is doing his dang thing, hitting numbers. He does more numbers in one video than I do all week. You feel me? But it's not about that. I'm doing this for my people. I'm doing this because I'm inspired by people like Cholo Juan. Now, I believe this is my thesis. This is my statement. This is what I'm going to leave you with. I believe we can make a California compilation like they did, like Gold Toes did for 17 Reasons and brought the black and brown, in the Bay Area together in Northern California in the 90s. Well, 2024 is time for Julio Gold Toes Sanchez to produce a California compilation, the best of the West Coast on the brown side, baby. Hosted by Cholo One coming out of Oxnard and Pocho One coming out of Santa Rosa, California. Two podcasters that are open minded with the business and open to educate, communicate, and liberate our people from mental slavery. Let's go. Again, the lineup is Gold Toes with Little One, Baldacci BFD, Cornejo Louis Loke, Acito Coyotes for Hire, Lefty Gunplay, GB, Roddy Rax, Rico Too Smooth, Swifty Blue Bands, hosted by Pocho One and Cholo One. Remember, Coyotes for Hire are on here to bring everybody together to maybe elevate us into a new fashion state. They are masterpieces of rap music, and they are masterpieces of being forward thinking visionaries. And sometimes visionaries like Coyotes for Hire are people that you can't tell, you don't get it yet, but in the future you will. So please, everybody, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. My question to you: can California come together to make a compilation produced by Gotos, hosted by Cholo One and Pocho One, with the big group of men and women, or not any women? We'll throw Jenny, Reverie, a couple other people in there. But can we come together and do something amazing? Let's make history together. Let's make history together. Why keep dissing? Why keep being buffoons? Why keep dancing for them when we can take it all, when we can be it all? Somos una raza, una voz, una corazón, una espíritu. We are one people, one voice, one spirit, one heart, one voice. I think I said it a bunch of times, but I'm saying, man, we are one people, you guys. We go through the same struggles. We want the same things, and we got to stop destroying each other. We got to stop admitting that we are crabs in a bucket and be just crabs that are living our best lives. We got to stop going back and forth, podcasting, hating, and drama. We got to start coming together, interviewing, bringing each other up, helping each other. If you're a big person, give me an interview so I can get bigger, so I can help my people in a bigger way. Again, this is your boy Pocho, one of the Pocho Live podcast. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and support a real one in the field. You feel me? Support a real one in the field, bro. Support a real one in the field that's not afraid to tell the truth and be himself, make mistakes, take chances. But in the end, my dream will be visualized and my history will absolve me, because I knew the feeling that I had when I came together with my brothers in LA, living in Los Angeles for 14 years. I knew it was something special. Shout out to 18th Street. Shout out to Culver City. Shout out to Santa Monica. Shout out to Venice. Shout out to Inglewood 13. Shout out to, let's move into South Central. Shout out to the criminals, the street criminals. Shout out to the mojados. Shout out to Barrio Evil. Shout out to, now let's move over to Boyle Heights, First Street, Cuatro Flats, Primero Flats, the Mob Crew. You feel me? Breed Street, State Street. It keeps going. Evergreen, White Fence. It keeps going. Maravillas, all the Maravillas. You feel me? There's so many. Pasadena Via Boys, EMF. Shout out to EMF for letting me live there with them. Shout out to all the homeboys at Homeboy Industries. You know what I mean? There's so many neighborhoods that I lived in, and they treated me well and respected me, knowing where I was from. Sereno. I mean, the list goes on. The Avenues, Highland Park, all these guys. You guys, Northeast LA, Southeast LA, Whittier, Uptown Whittier, where I partied a lot too. Come on, you guys. LA treated me well. It's time for the Bay, LA, SAC, the Valley, Fresno, San Diego, all of us to come together and be one big California car. We are stronger together. We are better together. And in that list, one more time: Baldacci, BFD, Conejo, Louis Lo, Gold Toes, Little One, Acito, Conejo, Coyotes for Hire, Lefty Gunplay, GB, Roddy Rex, Rico Tooth Smooth, Swifty Blue, and Bands, Little Weirdo, and Lazy. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Produced by Gold Toes, hosted by Cholo One and Pocho One. This is the Pocho Live podcast, the one podcast that tells the truth, tells the future, and tells it like it is. I'm out.